All right, welcome to Make Money Monday Mentorship with Coach Lucy Q. This is a very interactive mentorship. This is the place where you come to learn how to make money in real estate. And I want to kick it off with a question. Let's see, where are you from? Where are you guys from? Let's write it in the chat. Tell me what cities are connected. What city do you do real estate in? Where's your marketplace? I always like to know who is in the room. So I want to kick it off with a very important question. This is the last Monday of October 2025. The last Monday of October 2025. On a scale from 1 to 10, on a scale from 1, let's see, somebody has their, on a scale from 1 to 10, write in the chat, what level of production do you feel you are at? This is super important for what I'm going to share today. On a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being 1,000% happy with your production, with your performance. On a scale from 1 to 10, put in the chat the level of performance or production that you feel you are at. So if you started the year off wanting to make $100,000 and you are at $50,000, that means that at a scale from 1 being all the way at the bottom to 10, meaning I am on track for closing $100,000, I am at a 5. The first thing that I want to talk about, and the reason I'm asking this question, so welcome to everyone that's here. Make sure everyone that's here, turn on your cameras so that I can see you active. Go ahead and write on your notes. I must start to run my business like the CEO of my business. And it doesn't matter what exactly your position is. There is a certain science to the way that CEOs run their business. There is a science to the way that CEOs run their business. Okay, there is a science, write that down. There is a science to the way that CEOs run their business. CEOs have a clear definition of their role. Write this down. CEOs have a clear definition of their role. CEOs have a clear definition of their roles, okay? If you're connected on here to Make Money Mentorship, one of the housekeeping rules is you must turn on your camera because visibility is connectivity. So thank you for turning on your camera. That way I see you, you see me. And even though we are not together, it feels like we are connected. So why am I asking you? Make this time sacred. Make this next 45 minutes sacred to your business. Number one, what level are you playing at? Maybe you're brand new, you're at 0. It doesn't matter. If you are brand new in the business and you are at 0, okay, go ahead and write 0. I'm at 0, Lucy. I'm just now getting started with my business. Or maybe you are relaunching your business because you're definitely not running your business like a CEO because your business is not following the science of running your business like a business. Okay? You must run your business like a business. That is the number one struggle that real estate agents have. The number one struggle that real estate agents have is they do not run their business like a business. And notice that I am saying real estate agents. Real estate agents do not run their business like a business. Real estate agents are highly distracted. Real estate agents are undisciplined. Real estate agents are unfocused. Real estate agents are very reactive. So write this down. Do you react to your business or do you respond to your business? Because there is a big difference between responding and reacting. So I want you to take a clear vision today of your role in your business. You are, in order for you to hit high levels of production, give me a number 3 in the chat, those of you that want to reach high levels of production. High levels of production means you are earning anywhere between $80,000 and $100,000 a year, or you are adding $80,000 to $100,000 a year to your current production. Okay, those are high levels. $80,000 to $100,000 additional, or $80,000 to $100,000 in your business. For you to be able to have a level of performance that produces $80,000 to $100,000 a year in income, you must graduate from running your business like an agent, okay, to running your business like a CEO. So again, agents, they're very reactive. Write this down. They react to everything. They're always reacting. Agents are undisciplined. They do one thing one week, they stop doing it the next week. They start new projects all the time. Agents are not disciplined. And agents do not have a high level of focus. What must I do in order to take my business to the next level? Agents suffer from a lack of commitment in their business. You know, when you look at top level CEOs, they are committed 1,000% to what they decided they were going to do. Nobody runs their calendar. They run their calendar. So think about it. An agent is reactive. So what does that mean? When you are talking to a buyer or a seller, are you telling the buyer and the seller when you are available? The hours of operation for your appointments, whether it's, you know, presenting properties, taking them to purchase a home, going and visiting them for a listing presentation, because a listing presentation is really an interview to get hired. So when you're talking to a buyer and a seller, are you letting them know, here is when I am available to see you for the appointment of listing your home? Here's when I am available. Or are you reacting? Are you reacting to when the buyer says they want to go see a house? Put in the chat, do you run your schedule or do you allow everyone else to run your schedule? I want you to put that in the chat, and I want you to be very honest with yourself, because if I can help you flip the switch from being an agent to being a CEO and understanding when you're acting like an agent and when you should be acting like a CEO, this is going to be a game changer for you. Honest answer. I let everyone run my schedule. Honest answer. Okay, let's see. How many other honest people do we have? In my case, it depends on the day. Okay, so that's an interesting answer. But remember, are you running your schedule? Even if each day is different, who runs your schedule? You or the customer? Agents allow customers and everybody else to run their schedule. They do not have a clear map. Write this down. You need a map. For you to operate like a CEO, you must have a map. For you to run your business like a CEO, you must have a map. What is a map? I'm going to give you what a map means, and I want you to write this down. A map is massive action plan. Massive action plan. For you to run your business like a CEO, you need a map. You need a massive action plan. A massive action plan. So let's go ahead and look at the chat. I still don't own my schedule. Okay. I was letting others. However, after one of our meetings, I now run my own. Okay. In my case, it depends on the day. They are in control of my schedule. Okay. So here's why you must graduate. This is the last, you're entering every week, you could be entering a new level of your business. But you must have a clear map, massive action plan. So right now, drop in the chats, what are the things that you want to reach in the next 60 to 90 days? What would be your ideal objective or goal in the next 60 to 90 days? And it doesn't matter when the next 60 to 90 days is, because you can define where to take your business every 90 days to another level, every 90 days to another level, every 90 days to another level. Okay? To have 10 to 12 more clients. Okay? All right, excellent. 10 to 12 more clients in the next 60 to 90 days. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else? This is an interactive mentorship. So interactive is a keyword. So where do you want to take your business in the next 60 to 90 days? Someone said 2 more closings. Perfect. 2 more closings in the next 60 to 90 days. Perfect. Okay. I'm going to use those 2 examples, and I encourage all of you to put something in the chat. Put something in the chat, because here's the thing. If you don't have a clear objective, that's what happens with agents. Agents don't know where the, remember I said agents, real estate agents, people that are working with the mindset of an agent, they are constantly reacting. They don't have a massive action plan. They don't have a clear vision. They don't have a clear objective. Okay. So everybody else runs their schedule. They're always reacting to external things. A buyer calls and they think that jumping in the car to go show them a property is being productive. That is not being productive. Just because your phone rings and you run and jump in the car doesn't mean you're being productive. CEOs do not operate that way. CEOs know when they're going to be showing property. They know when they're going to be listing property. But more importantly, they know when their massive action plan is. So let's use the 2 examples. Somebody says have 3 closings, 1 closing every month in the next 60 days. Okay, so I'm going to take these 3 examples and we're going to see how this turns out. Okay, because this is how CEOs think. I want to teach you the science of being the CEO of your business. This is the focus for this mentorship, for Make Money Mentorship today. If you could flip the switch and stop thinking like an agent and start acting like a CEO, you will start making CEO money. As long as you continue to perform, think, and act like an agent, you're going to make agent money. So let me give you a little illustration. Let me give you a little bit of information. Write this down. Write this down. 96%. Write this down. 96%. Write this down in your notes. You come to Make Money Mentorship with Lucy, always with pen and paper. So write this down. 96% of agents only close 4 transactions in the last 12 months. 4 transactions in the last 12 months. 96%. 4 transactions in the last year. So I want you to write down how many transactions have you closed. You don't have to tell me, I don't want to know. So if 96%, and this is nationwide statistics and also local statistics. Okay, so local statistics say that 96% of realtors only close 4 transactions in the last 12 months. How many transactions have you closed? Okay, so we have someone here saying, I want to have 10 to 12 more clients. Okay, CEOs understand that we only get paid when we have closings. So you want to focus on closed transactions. Okay? Now, CEOs also understand that you must have 100 leads in your pipeline. So number one, your job is to get 100 leads, somebody that is ready, willing, and able to buy a property now or in the future. 100 leads in your pipeline. 100 leads in your pipeline. So if agents are focused on clients, but CEOs are focused on closings, that's where you have to start okay, how am I operating? Because here's your biggest challenge. You're never going to have CEO money if you're acting and thinking like an agent. So that's number one. How many closed transactions do I want? Now, how many closed transactions have I had? So for example, for the person that is saying, let me help you. For the person here that is saying, I want to have let me see, what was it? I want to have, let me see, what was this one? One closing every month. I want to have, okay, I want to have 3 closings. For the person that is here that wants to have 3 closings in the next 60 to 90 days, I want you to write down, and this goes for everybody. So 1 closing a month, write down how many closings you've had in the last 12 months. Because let's say, for example, if you, I'm not saying you, but I'm saying if an agent that is part of the 96% is only closing 4 transactions a year, okay, they must focus on raising their production by 25%. Sometimes agents make huge goals, but they're not ready in their performance to be able to reach them. So for example, if you're part of the 96% that are closing 4 transactions a year, that means it's 1 transaction every 3 months. That agent, it's very difficult for them to get to 1 transaction per month. However, that agent should go to 2 transactions every 3 months. And then once you hit 2 transactions every 3 months, then you're ready to do 3 transactions every 3 months. Does that make sense? Raise your hand if that makes sense. So you need to know where you're at. You need to know where you're at so you can make a map on where you want to go. And this is why training does not work. Training tells you everything you need to do, but training does not tell you how to implement the information. That's why training does not work. That's why training is the information, but mentorship is the how to do it. Okay? So let's go back. Agents react. Agents don't have a massive action plan. CEOs respond. So let's talk about how you are going to respond to your business. Number one, how many closings do you want to have in the next 60 to 90 days? Let's use the example of 3. Number 2, what is your conversion ratio? What is CEOs know what their conversion ratio is? And this is where the biggest amount of results come from you running your business like a CEO. That means a CEO knows how many conversations, number one, write this down. Number one, how many conversations must I have in order to get one lead? So I want you to put in the chat, if there's someone in the room, put a number 7 in the chat if you know your conversion ratio. How many conversations to leads? What is with your current business that you have done, do you know your conversion ratio? How many conversations to leads? How many conversations? So let's make it simple. If you know, put yes. If you don't know, put no. That way I can kind of see how we're doing. If you know your conversion ratio, no. Okay, good. That helps me. No, no, no. Okay. No, 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 no. Okay, beautiful. This is the best news. If you don't know your conversion ratio, saying beautiful, I love this. This is why my mentorship brings results, because I discover the level that you are at before I give you a whole bunch of information that you're not going to know what to do with. Give me a number 10 if that sounds like a better plan than just telling you what to do, but you're not even ready to do it. Excellent. Okay, now this got good. Agents react. Agents let other people run their schedule. Agents do not have a massive action plan. CEOs run their schedule. CEOs have 100 people in their pipeline, a minimum of 100 people in your pipeline. That is the first step for you to reach the goals that you put. If you want to have 10 to 12 new clients, you must focus on 100 people in your pipeline. If you want to sell all your listings, you must focus on 100 people in your pipeline. If you want to have 2 more closings in the next 60 to 90 days, you must have 100 people in your pipeline. If you want to have your first closing in the next 60 to 90 days, you must have 100 people in your pipeline. If you want to have 1 closing per month, you must have 100 people in your pipeline. It doesn't matter the level you are at. Running your business like a CEO is a science. It's a science. You must know, for example, what is a science? Let me explain to you why agents don't make high-level money. Let me explain to you why agent-minded real estate people do not make consistent income. They do not know the science of making money in real estate. Let me explain to you what science in real estate means. For example, if I asked you, tell me what part of the human body do people use to hold their cell phones? Write it in the chat. What part of the human body do people use to hold their cell phones? Write it in the chat. Come on, help me out. The hand. One person. What part of the human body? The hand. Let's see, everybody else. Let's see, I'm going to wait. This is Make Money Monday Interactive. The hand. The hand. In the pants. You don't know. If you're going to be talking on the phone, I know you're being funny, but I want to teach you something with this. For you to use a phone, maybe I need to make the question a little better. For you to use the phone, what part of the human body does most people use? It's the hand. You can't talk, you can't use the phone with the phone in your back pocket, right? That is science. That means that it's the same for anybody that wants to use their phone. If you want to have a conversation on your phone, the science is you must use a hand. So the science of real estate says if you want to have consistent and predictable income, what is the first thing you must generate? A pipeline of a minimum of 100 leads, guys. And it works for everybody. It's science. Science is something that is universal. Science is something, face for meta glasses. I don't understand what face for meta glasses means when you're talking about using the phone. But again, I don't know about meta glasses because that's not helping me close deals in real estate. If you want to have a conversation with a cell phone, okay, here's a cell phone. You want to have a conversation. There's only one way, science, regardless of where you are on the planet, regardless of the color of your skin, regardless of the company you work for, regardless of the logo you represent, regardless of anything. If there's a cell phone and you want to make a phone call, okay, with the cell phone, not with the meta glasses, with the cell phone, you use the hand. Why do I want to make this emphasis? Because let's not complicate it. See, your problem and my problem is we complicate things. CEOs do not complicate things. CEOs learn the science of how to generate business. For you to have a closing, 3 closings, 10 closings, 10 clients, 12 clients, make $100,000, the science of real estate says you must have 100 people in your pipeline. Now, let's use science again. For you to communicate using your hand with a phone to the person on the other side of the phone, what part of the body must you use if you wanted to communicate with verbal voice? Let me be specific. Verbal voice communication can only be accomplished as a human through where? Write it in the chat. The mouth, the mouth, the mouth. You see? You know why I'm breaking this down to a very elementary level? Because you and I, as humans, we want to complicate real estate. We want to tell ourselves, I'm not closing 1 deal a month, or I'm not closing 100 deals a month, or I don't have X amount of clients because the market is bad, the interest rates are bad. No, the science says you must have 100 leads, people that are ready, willing, and able. A minimum of 100 leads in your pipeline. So the same way that you need to use your mouth to verbally communicate through the cell phone, which is using your hand to hold the cell phone and your mouth to verbally communicate. The next thing that I'm going to tell you, the science says, is you must have 10 conversations each day. 10 conversations each day. Not videos, not tech. Don't complicate it. Because your brain is going to tell you to complicate it. Tell your brain, shh, it's science. 10 conversations a day, at least 3 times a week. That is the science. That is the science. That is the science of reaching any level of high performance. The science says 10 conversations with someone that is 18 years or older, that answers the phone, that you can introduce yourself. That is the science. When you start to do that, magic happens. Your phone starts to ring. You start putting transactions together. Your listings start to sell. People start knowing who you are. People that are not looking to buy or sell can remember you and recommend you. That's the science. Let me tell you what else the science of real estate says. You ready for this one? Simple, easy stuff. Easy. I have the ability to help you see things so easily that once you see it, you cannot unsee it. The third thing that the science of real estate says is the only thing you must do every single day, write this down, is look for people and talk to people about you being ready, willing, and able to help them or anyone they know to buy, sell, or rent real estate. That's all you have. That's your job. That's your job. How many of you are your own boss? Raise your hand if you are your own boss. Good. Okay, who's your employee? If you're the boss, who's your employee? CEOs, we're going back to the mindset of a CEO. Do CEOs hire people that do not produce results? So I'm talking to you guys from the mentality of a CEO. What do CEOs do with people that do not perform? Write it in the chat. What do CEOs do with people that do not perform? Fire them, fire them, fire them. So if you are the CEO, you are the boss, you are the employee, what is your number one responsibility? Monday to Monday. Write it in the chat. What is your number one responsibility? Write it in the chat. Nobody wants to write it in the chat because you set a calendar. Okay. What is your number one responsibility? Look for people, talk with the people about real estate. Okay. What is your number one responsibility? Guys, write this down. Write this down. It's so simple. If you are the CEO and you are thinking like a CEO, I just proved to you there's a science to closing deals in real estate. It's simple. It's not the market. It's not the interest rates. It's not the president. It's not the government. It's not the location you're in. It's not that you don't know people. There's people around you. How many of you walk around and see people every day? How many of you walk around? Okay. We have people all around us. If you are the CEO and you're really serious about taking your business to another level, stop the insanity. Stop hallucinating. Do not complicate it. Your job is to perform. 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 Because you just said to me, if I was a CEO of a company and I had an employee that did not give me results, I would fire them. Well, you're the boss. You need to think like a CEO. You have an employee, and the responsibility that you have as the boss, the CEO, and the employee is to perform. To perform every single day, whether it's raining, whether it's shining, whether you feel like it, whether you don't feel like it, whether your brain tells you to do it or not do it, whether it doesn't matter. If you're able to maintain the mindset of a CEO and you're able every single day to look for people, introduce yourself. Hey, my name is Lucy Quiñones. I am a real estate professional. Please, if you or someone you know is looking to buy, sell, or rent real estate, could you please do me a favor? Give them my card, give them my number. I'm looking to help 50 families buy, sell, or rent real estate in the next 12 months with a beautiful smile, and you keep going, but with confidence like a CEO. Because if that person says, yes, help me, you now have to be ready to go give them a buyer consultation. Give me a number 11 in the chat. How many of you are ready right now to provide a full service buyer consultation? Actually, let's make it easier. Give me yes or no. Yes or no? Are you ready? A full service buyer consultation. Okay. How many slides? Okay. How many? Okay. You're ready to give someone a full service buyer consultation. Perfect. No, yes, no. Okay. So how many buyer consultations are you giving a week right now? How many buyer consultations are you giving per week right now for those of you that are ready? Help me to help you. How many buyer consultations are you giving per week right now? 2. Okay. 1 or 2. Okay, pick. You're doing 1 or you're doing 2? Pick. So the solution is easy. For those of you that are ready, let me see, 1 or 2. This week 2. Okay. This week 2 and last week, how many? So let me give you the last science. The last science. This is so easy. Listen, guys, if you just trust me for 90 days and you become the best student, and keep it simple, stop complicating it. You're getting in your own way. You are self-sabotaging yourself. You're self-sabotaging yourself. Okay. I'm going to give you the science of closing 1 to 2 transactions per month. I already gave you 2 parts of the science. I told you a pipeline of 100 people, right? A pipeline of 100 people looking and talking to the people every day. And I told you 10 contacts, 10 conversations 3 times a week. That's it. That's it. Like if you do not do 10 conversations 3 times a week, you need to fire yourself. Like that's it. Stop playing like an agent. Stop blaming the market. Stop blaming people don't know me. Stop blaming the this, the that, the everything, the light, the moon, the stars. Stop blaming it. It's you. You are the one that has to move into a CEO. So 10 conversations 3 times a week. That's it. It's easy. It's simple. It's simple. Now let me give you the last piece, and I'm going to close out with this. I don't know how bad you really want it, and that's part of the problem. You may be interested in doing real estate, and I say this with love. As a matter of fact, I'm going to prove to you that I'm saying this with love. I say this with love, and I say this because I care. And I say this because I know that, Talia, can you put the speaker image on? Because I can't do it. When I try to put the speaker view on, it doesn't let me. I understand how painful it is to be in real estate and make Walmart money. I understand how difficult it is to be in real estate with a real estate license and make Walmart money. That means, like, I think Walmart pays about $50,000 a year maximum. But I also understand what it takes. Are you able to change that view?
I'm not a co-host.
I have to make you a co-host?
Yeah, what do you want me to put on?
Because I'm putting the view and it's, I'm saying speaker view and it's putting you on.
Okay.
I'm trying to put me, I don't know, unless you wanna. So let me give you the last thing that I want you to walk away with. I don't know how bad do you really want it. Because one thing that I can tell you is it's painful to be in real estate and be broke. It's very painful to be in real estate and be broke. It's very painful to be in real estate with a lot of potential and be stuck. It's very painful to be in real estate where so many people are making so much money and you're still playing small. And you're still playing small. And it has nothing to do with you not being capable or able to do it. It's you have not graduated into the right mindset of running your business like a CEO. So I'm going to give you the last science. I'm going to give you the last science because I am betting on you. I believe you can do it. I know you can do it. I know you can do it because if I did it, anyone can do it. But you must be having a minimum of 10 buyer consultations a week in this market. In this market and the market that we are about to see for the next 24 months, if not more. One digit performance is too small. One digit performance is too small. Guys, 10 buyer consultations a week is only 2 a day. It's only 2 a day. There's no way you could tell me, you, or anyone that you are not able to do 2 buyer consultations a day at 30 minutes to 1 hour. That is CEO level performance. And if you really want to become a CEO, you must be doing 4 listing presentations a week. 4 listing presentations a week. So let me ask you this question. How many listing presentations are you doing per week? Drop that number in the chat. Real quick. Because my number one objective is to understand one a week, 0, 0, 0. Guys, that is the science. Prove me wrong. Like, I want you guys to prove me wrong. I want you guys to be the best student. Trust me. Follow the directions. Look for the people. Talk to the people. Hi, my name is Lucy Quinones. I'd like to give you my card. I'm looking to help 50 people in the next 12 months buy, sell, or rent real estate. Would you just keep me in mind in case you or someone you know is ready for me to serve them? Look for the people and talk to the people. Pick up your phone. Have 10 conversations 3 times a week. 10 conversations 3 times a week. That's all you need to do. Fill up your pipeline with 100 people, 100 leads in your pipeline. 100 leads in your pipeline. Do 10 buyer consultations a week or 4 listing presentations a week. That's it. That is the science of real estate. That's how you get to the levels that you said and more. I hope that you believe in yourself enough to allow me to mentor you and get you unstuck, get you out of the pain of not making money or not making enough money or thinking about how much you would love to do that you're not doing, and allow yourself to suffer the pain of growth, suffer the pain of discipline, suffer the pain of being the best student you could be, suffer the pain of discomfort, suffer the pain of learning, suffer the pain of building your skills, suffer the pain of practicing your presentations. So when you speak to someone, you are confident, powerful, assertive, ready. Suffer the pain of increasing your capabilities so that you can become what you say you want to become. See you next time, guys.